Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast, The 4 a.m. Talks. I'm your host, Manoj Velu. Super excited to bring this episode to you guys. And how are you guys doing? So, this week is going to be a really good week because we are going to bring episodes that are super important for you, and hopefully, you will take this back, reflect, and grow. That is our motive. I hope you do it. And with that being said, let's get right into this episode. So, what is the topic that I wanted to talk about today? Today is the topic that is, I felt that, since I've done 37, 38 episodes, this is the right time to introduce this topic. So, what is this topic all about? Imagine John Carpenter, and he is the captain of Indian cricket team. He has stored England. For example, it's a 5 match series where the first match was a draw and there is only 4 matches left. England wins 2 matches. Third match, India bounce back. John Carpenter plays a really good innings and made sure that the team wins. So it's 2-1 and one game to go. India is all set. John Carpenter is very determined to make sure that this becomes a draw. A series which becomes a draw is like winning in overseas. That is what it is. So he goes out there and he wants to prove that this team is not going to let down, or they're not going to lose. They're determined to win. John Carpenter just says to his team that just go out there and enjoy yourself. This is what he says to his team. There is so many pressures outside. No matter what, just go out there, enjoy yourself and play your game. Everyone is determined. The next day, they're about to go out there and play. There was a thunderstorm, rain, and the whole match is cancelled. England wins the series 2-1, and John Carpenter's India team have lost. So, why am I telling you this story? I have started this with a story because the reason why I say this is, when you look at this John Carpenter story, everybody is determined to make sure that this series ends in a draw. Every single Indian player, not only John Carpenter. But it ended in a way where they didn't expect that coming. That is something which they can't control. Weather is something which they can't control, irrespective of whatever your mindset is, whatever the hard work could be, whatever your work ethic could be. There are certain things which are not under our control, and weather is one such example, and this is John Carpenter's story. With their mindset and having that winning momentum, what would have happened if that match would have been played. I'm sure that most of you would agree that India would go on and win the game just because of their mindset and their winning momentum. But since it's nature and the things that you can't control, it played a crucial part at the right time and made sure England wins the series. England have won that series. So why am I telling you this? You have to understand that there are certain things which you can't control. You can't control. For example, imagine you are going to your office. Can you control traffic? You can't, right? And imagine you are going after your dreams, you're doing certain things in your life, you're putting your work, and you are about or in that process, in that path of achieving your dream. There are so many people surrounded by you are jealous. Can you control their feelings or their perceptions about you? No, right? So these are the things which you can control. You can't control other people thoughts about you. You can control, you can only be you. And it's up to an individual or others to take whatever they have to take, or whatever the perceptions that they have on you. It doesn't matter, but you need to understand whose point is really important and relevant. As I said before in one of the episodes, if you're a sports person and if your coach is having some sort of perception on you, you have to take that word, because he is in that field, he is the expertise, and he is giving that sense of expertise suggestion to you to improve as a player, because the coach really wanted you to improve. You should understand the motive when somebody says something on you. So I've just talked about the things that you can't control. These are the things that you need to keep in mind. These are very few things. Out of nowhere, somebody dies. Can you control that? You can't control that. It is really important for you to understand that no matter what, you have to keep this in mind. You can control the things that you can control. You can control the things that you can control. The best thing that can ever happen to humankind is nature has given us the best option that we can control, and that is the work ethic. The work ethic is the best option out there. Imagine if you can't control work ethic, how that could be. Most of our dreams would have been shattered just because you can't control the work ethic. It is that important. So nature is kind enough to us, and it has given us the opportunity to control the work ethic. If you really wanted to go after something, and if you really want something really bad enough that I can't live without this, then you have to put in the work, and nobody can stop your work ethic. Irrespective of whatever anyone can tell you, they can tell you no matter, he can get it, but you can always put in the time. Make sure that you practice hard, and you have that skill, and you have practiced really well. You can become an expertise in whatever the subject that you wanted to. It's simply because you are willing to learn, and you're willing to put that work and make sure that you achieve your dream. So whenever you are going after your dream, just try to understand that it is about the step-by-step process and the work ethic. These are the two things which you can really control, and don't think about the things which you can't control. Sometimes you bog down just because you can't do something and it is not under your control. For example, there is a documentary which I really wanted you guys to watch. It's called the Muse for the Kobe Bryant's documentary. In that, he specifically mentions he has this Achilles injury and he wants to come back. But you should just think about this guy. He has this Mamba mentality, and having that injury, he understands himself that he can't control that. But he says, you can't dominate me. I know, I dictate terms on when I have to play my last match. And he comes after a certain time, he makes sure that he recovers that injury, and he comes back and he plays the final game. He has a 60-point game, with retirement. Nobody has ever done that. So for he what I wanted to really talk about is he understood the things that he can control, and he made sure that he made the best use of those things and became whatever he wanted to. And eventually we all know that he is one of the best basketball players who had ever played the game. So all these things are really important. An injury concern, you need to understand that it's not just about you saying that I'm going to come out next day. No, it doesn't happen like that. You can't control that. There's a step by step process to it. Are you determined to give a comeback? That is the question you need to ask yourself. So these are the things that are really important, and I need to make sure that you understand this. Always remember, take a sheet of paper and write down that you can only control the things that you can, and if there are certain things that you can't control, you need not have to bother too much, and look at the possibilities of what you can control and make the best possible. You just try to utilize that whatever you have got, and you will eventually go after your dream, and you would accomplish the dream that you always had in your mind. So just remember the things that you can control. And with that, I'm just coming to the end of this episode. I really hope that you take this episode to the bottom of your heart, because I've seen so many people having they are always conscious about the things which they can control, and that's not a good sign, because you need to understand the things that you can control and make the best utilization of those things, and make sure that you come out with your game plan and go after your dreams. So with that being said, if you really wanted to reach us, you can always do so by just commenting below if you're watching it on YouTube. And if you're watching it on any of the audio platforms, you can just email us at 4am talks podcast office @gmail.com, and we would be happy to get back to you. So with that being said, have a wonderful day everyone. I'll see you in the next episode. See you guys. Bye.